So good morning and welcome back to the class. We have already dealt with the graphical solutions of a system of linear equations in two variables in the previous class. Now moving forward, with the help of the coefficients of the system of linear equation in two variables, even without drawing the graphs, we will be able to decide what kind of lines you're going to get. All right. So this is a very important condition you should be able to recall without any confusion. So we will look at it very, very seriously and try to internalize it. That is, whenever you are asked, when is a set of linear equations going to become intersecting? When is it going to become coincident? Or when is it going to become parallel? By just comparing the coefficients of x, y, and the constant term. That is the a1, b1, c1, and the a2, b2, c2, which will be the coefficients of the x term, the y term, and the constant term in the two equations. So by looking at them and taking their ratios, you will be able to decide what kind of lines we would be getting. So I will get back to the board now and try to explain the conditions of consistency. Please write it down properly and ask me if you have any doubts in these conditions. All right, because in the MCQs, there is a lot of chance that number of questions from this part of the chapter will be asked, because here there is no skill testing. They're not going to ask you to draw the graphs, no. So there are varieties of questions which can come in these conditions of consistency. So please mark it in your notebook that it is a very important thing that I have to be always able to recall. All right. So getting back to the board.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, are you seeing the board behind me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, these were the conditions of consistency of linear equations in two variables which I wanted to discuss today. Alright, so what we will do is we will write this down in our classwork clearly. So let me explain what are these conditions, then you can note it down. That is why I am recording this class also. Now, if there are two equations given to you in this form, this is the general form of a linear equation in two variables. Because I have two equations, I will be taking the coefficients of the first equation as a1, b1, and c1, and the coefficients of the second equation as a2, b2, and c2. Because I know generally when I write a linear equation in two variables, I write it as ax plus by plus c equals 0. Because we are dealing with two equations, I have taken it as a1, b1, c1 for the first equation and a2, b2, and c2 for the second equation. So that I understand, a1 means it is the coefficient of x term in the first equation. a2 means it is the coefficient of the x term in the second equation. Similarly, b1 is the coefficient of the y term in the first equation, b2 for the y term in the second equation. And c1 is the constant in the first equation and c2 is the constant term in the second equation. So when these two equations are available to you, you are given two equations. Even without drawing the graph, you should be in a position to decide what kind of graph you are going to get. It can be intersecting, parallel, or coincident. So there is a unique ratio which has to be satisfied for the equation to become intersecting, parallel, or coincident. Alright? And because it is intersecting, parallel, and coincident, algebraically you can tell if you get intersecting lines. We have seen in the graph yesterday that there will be only one solution. That point of intersection of the two lines becomes the solution of the equation. If they are parallel lines, because they don't intersect at all, we can decide that it has got no solution. This also we have done in the graphical part exercise. And the last option is coincident lines. That means the lines are overlapping. They lie one over another. Alright? In such a case, all the points on those straight lines will become the solution. So there are infinite solutions when the lines become coincident. Because every line has got infinite number of points located on it, and every point on that line becomes the solution. That is why there is no unique solution, but there are infinite solutions. Okay? So first case we will take. Suppose you compare the a1 by a2 and the b1 by b2. And the equations are given to you. You know how to identify a1, a2, b1, and b2. When you write the ratios like this, that is a1 by a2, and B1 by B2, if these two ratios are not equal, when you find out A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, you can simply go and say that the lines will be intersecting. If the lines are intersecting, you know there is going to be only one unique solution for it, and such a system of linear equations where A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2 will be called a consistent system. You can tell a linear equation is a consistent set of linear equations in two variables. Alright? Then coming to the second condition. Suppose when you check A1 by A2 and B1 by B2, they become equal. But when you go and check the ratio of C1 by C2, the C1 by C2 will not be equal to A1 by A2 and B1 by B2. If this condition arises, if this condition is going to happen, it means you can go and state that the lines will become parallel to each other. ನೀವು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. You can draw the graph and find out. ಈ ತರ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆದಾಗ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. You will get only parallel lines. And once you know that they are going to be parallel lines, definitely you know there is going to be no solution for them. And such a kind of system of equations is called inconsistent system of equations. Alright? So if the lines become parallel and there is no solution for that type of linear equation in two variables, such a system of linear equations in two variables will be called an inconsistent system. Alright? Then the third condition. If all the three ratios, that is A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2, if they are all going to be equal to each other, then you can go and decide that what you are going to get is the coincident lines or the overlapping lines. Once you know that the lines have become coincident or overlapping, there are infinite solutions we have decided graphically. One line by line ಕೂತಿದ್ರೆ all the points in that line will become the solution. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನ infinite solutions ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. Alright? And such a system is called consistent but dependent. Can you understand the difference between first one and the third one? When the intersecting lines are available, the system is called consistent. If they are coincident lines, they are called consistent dependent or dependent consistent. Any way you can. Alright? So these are the three conditions of consistency for a linear equation. The ಮೂರು conditions ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. Because based on these conditions, there will be variety of questions which will be asked. So we will take up one by one and try to understand how the conditions of consistency is helpful in solving the problems based on the conditions. Alright? So graphical part ನಾವು ನಾಳೆ ನಮ್ಮ practical class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು set ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು we will see that part is assessed. Graphical solution ನಿಮಗೆ term and exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Maybe in the periodic test also I will give you one or two graphs and test the skill there. Because in the boards, that is in the November-December exam, it is going to be an MCQ type test with some case-based study which will be there. That means graphs will be given and questions will be asked based on the graph given. So you will not be asked to draw a graph in the term and exam. So that's why I am ensuring that this assessment will happen in the periodic test and now in the practical class. Alright? So at the end of the class, I will give you those three sets of equations for which you have to draw the graph and find the solution graphically and show it to us tomorrow in the practical class. Am I clear? Right.
Yeah,
No, ma'am.
I think we will proceed. Now because already I have done the problem once, I have just taken the recorded version of the solution. So I'll just share that part of the video with you. You can write down in your classroom. Alright? So I think I will get that. I will stop the sharing. I'm not sharing anything. I'll come back to my camera here. Now I'll be sharing part of the video where the solutions for the problems in exercise 3.2 is included. So you can take down either now or maybe later on you can view the video again and take down. But if you have any doubts, please ask me. Again and again I am repeating, it is a very, very important part of the chapter that we are dealing with now. Alright, so let me go and share my screen. If you're silent, I understand that until now, whatever I've said is clear for you.
Yeah,
So
ma'am.
you're not stopping me in between. I'm just moving through. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because they will not ask in the question whether it is a unique solution or no solution. If they say consistent, you must understand it has got a unique solution. If they say inconsistent, you must know it is no solution. Or they may ask you to check whether a given pair of equations is inconsistent or consistent, like I read in problem number 3 just now. Find out whether the following pair of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent. So we'll take down the first equation, which is given as 3x plus 2y. This is the third main I'm doing. In exercise 3.2 in page number 49. So the third main, I'm taking the first question. That is 3x plus 2y equals 5. And the second set is 2x minus 3y equals 7. So you must see this in the general form. See if it is already given in the general form and hence find out what is A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2. Do it, let me see. Write it in the general form. What is the general form? A1x plus B1y plus C1 equals 0. So write it in the general form and try to compare what is A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2 and hence find out their ratios. So this I will write as A1x plus B1y plus C1 equals 0. This will be A2x plus B2y plus C2 equals 0. So now comparing it, you know A1 is positive 3, B1 is 2, that is positive 2, and what will be C1? C1 will be negative 5. Because when you write it in the general form, you will write it as 3x plus 2y minus 5 equals 0. Alright? So you must be very careful when you choose the coefficients. So similarly, when you compare what is A2, what is B2 and what is C2, you will. Did you understand why that C1 and C2 is taken as negative integers? Any
Ma'am,
doubt
you can-
why it was taken as
you can-
negative 5?
Ma'am, you can explain it again?
Yeah, are you understanding why it is negative 5 there?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, coming back, I'll just come back to the video again. So you must see this in the general form. See. Now you must have the equation written like this: 3x plus 2y equals 5. That is the equation given to you. When you rearrange it and write it in the general form. General form ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? X, Y and constant M. ಎಲ್ಲನೂ left hand side ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. On the right hand side you will only have 0. Can you see it here? A1x plus B1y plus C1 equals 0. ಇದೇ ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಬರೆಯೋದು. ಸೊ ನಮ್ದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಈಗ ರೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಟು ದ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್. So when you transpose, what will happen? It will become 3x plus 2y minus 5 equals 0. Did you understand? Similarly, the second equation, when you bring it in the general form, it will become 2x minus 3y minus 7 equals 0. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
Yeah, ma'am. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು.
ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋದಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ದ ಸಿಂಬಲ್. ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ 5 ಆಗಿರೋದು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ 5 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ 7 ಆಗಿರೋದು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ 7 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯೋರ್ A1, B1 and C1 in the first equation? A1 will be 3, B1 will be 2, but C1 will be negative 5. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ 5 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಯೋರ್ A2 ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ A2 will be 2, B2 will be negative 3 and your C2 will be negative 7. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಅದನ್ನೇ ಬರ್ದಿರೋದು ನಾನಿಲ್ಲಿ. See, that is the point I have written here. Can you see it? 3, 2 and negative 5, 2, negative 3 and negative 7. ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. When you choose and identify your A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅದರದ್ದು ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಸಮೇತ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. If it is a negative number, you should take it as a negative. Don't forget the negative symbol. And
Excuse
before you identify the A1, B1, C1 and the A2, B2, C2, write it in the general form. Only then choose A1, B1, C1, A2, B2 and C2. Yes, somebody was speaking. Tell me.
Ma'am, why we should write like A2, B2 and C2?
Why means what? I didn't understand your question. What is why? Because you have to have it in the general form. General form al tagondre, you will be able to compare it with the given equation and pick what is A1, what is B1 and what is C1. General form al bardre tane compare ಮಾಡಿ ತಗೊಳಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. Your A1y, sorry, A1x plus B1y plus C1 equals 0 is the same as 3x plus 2y minus 5 equal to 0. So ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತಾನೇ A1, B1, C1 ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, anybody else? Somebody else also was speaking. Who is that? Okay, have you understood? Shall I proceed?
Yeah, ma'am.
The -5 and the -7. When you write it in the general form, the 7 and this 5 has to come to the left hand side. So they will take the negative signs there. Now find out A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2. And then decide whether it is consistent or inconsistent. A1 by A2 is 3 by 2. B1 by B2, it is 2 by -3. And what is C1 by C2? It is -5 divided by -7, which will be 5 by 7. This you will write as -2 by 3. So what can you decide now? What will you tell? What kind of solution should you have?
Consistent solution.
Yes, which of these conditions is visible there? A1 by A2 is not at all equal to B1 by B2. In the first step only you can find out A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. So what kind of algebraic interpretation can you tell? It is going to be a consistent set of linear equations. The question was find out whether the following pair of linear equations are consistent or not. The pair of equations is consistent. So this is how you will complete the problem. Once you are showing that A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, you should be able to say they form a consistent set of equations. So many people get added only. At the end of the class, I will be adding. Take down quickly. I have just turned the laptop a little because I wrote it on that side. Okay, now try the second one on your own. Go ahead and try the second one. The second set of equations is 2x minus 3y equals 8. And the second equation is 4x minus 6y equals 9. So first write it in the general form. Then compare to find out what is A1, A2, B1, B2 and then C1, C2. Then go and find their ratios, which will allow you to tell whether it is consistent or inconsistent. Try the second one and tell me whether you're getting a consistent or inconsistent. Yeah, could you find out what is A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2? Are they equal? Are they not equal?
Ma'am, A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2.
Are you getting A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, but it is not equal to C1 by C2? Then only you can say it is inconsistent. Are you getting an inconsistent pair of equations? Please
Yes,
write.
ma'am.
All this is going to be your 1 mark. Don't take it very easily. Could you complete it? I don't know why there
Yes,
is no
ma'am.
reply at all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me take it down and do. It is 2x minus 3y equals 8, or I'll write it in the standard form itself. 2x minus 3y minus 8 equals 0. And the second one is 4x minus 6y minus 9 equals 0. This is the second one we are doing. So now compare and try to get. Is someone getting added? No. Okay, A1 is positive 2, A2 is positive 4, B1 is negative 3, B2 is negative 6, this is negative 8 and negative 9. So let me go and find out what is A1 by A2, which will be 2 by 4, or in other words it is 1 by 2. B1 by B2 will be equal to negative 3 by negative 6, again that is 1 by 2. What is C1 by C2? It is negative 8 by negative 9, which will be 8 by 9. Now, what can I see? A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, but it is not equal to C1 by C2. So, the pair of equations is inconsistent. That's all you have to do. So, I think like this, you will be able to complete the remaining 3 problems also there. Even if it is fractions, you should know how to divide fractions to find out the ratios. You should know how to divide the fractions to find the ratio. So I'm not going to do that. You will complete the 3, 4 and 5 in the classwork itself. So maybe you can do it later on. Now I will go back to I think I'll take up the second one itself. Because it is the graphical solution that I want you to do. Now the second question, please look at it. There are 3 sets of equations. These are the 3 sets which I want you to do in the record. All right. So here you are only going to say whether you're going to get. Okay, this is the same set of equations I'm giving for you this year. All right, because every year I change it. So it was for the last year's batch that I'm telling that these are the 3 equations. For you at the end of the class, I will give you the set of equations. So this I shall skip.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll skip this part and move a little forward, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
A1y plus C2 equals 0. So by looking at it, I can tell my A1 is positive 5, A2 is positive 7, B1 is negative 4, B2 is positive 6, C1 is positive 8, and C2 is negative 9. Alright, so now I go to the ratios, that is A1 by A2 is 5 by 7. Then my B1 by B2 is negative 4 by 6, which I can take as negative 2 by 3. And the last one is C1 by C2, which will be negative 8 by 9. 8 by negative 9 or negative 8 by 9. Both of them mean the same. Alright, so now I got A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2. It is already telling that A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. So I'm going to get a unique solution, or it is a pair of consistent set of equations. So within bracket you will write, it will be intersecting lines, because I have a unique solution. When I say A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, I know I will get a Unique solution, that means the pair of equations are consistent and the solution will be unique with intersecting lines. Now, how do I represent this graphically? I think the last class I have just given you a hint about how to do it. So once again, I thought I will tell you, because graphical solution has come for the last 2-3 years continuously in section D. For standard maths, it has come in section C. So getting a 3 marks or losing a 3 marks is in your hands now. So please concentrate how it has to be done. It is very simple to score these 3 marks. See, they are directly asking questions by giving the equations. Otherwise, you have to frame the equation and then get the graphical solution. Yeah, Lekha Kumar, why have you raised your hand? Is there any doubt? Lekha,
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
what are you trying to do then? See, I have to pause the video and come because I thought there was a doubt. Please don't be playing around, okay?
Sorry, ma'am.
Last year it was simply given. The 2 equations were given and they were told find the graphical solution. What else can you expect? If it is such a simple question, you should be able to find the graphical solution. That's why I am taking this class exclusively for graphical solution alone. Alright, so whenever you get a set of equations, first find out this, whether you're going to get intersecting lines, you're going to get parallel lines, or you're going to get coincident lines. And how do you decide this? Using this table. That's why I put the table also. So first satisfy yourself before you take the graph. If you are very sure it is going to be intersecting lines, then you must show the point of intersection on the graph. Such should be your scale taken and the ordered pairs that you're going to decide. So I'll start with the ordered pairs from here now. I'll just tell to the laptop so that I get some space to do it. So I'll start from here. Now the reason why I am continuing playing this video is I want to show you how to get the ordered pairs once again. Tomorrow in the class, don't expect me to repeat this. Alright? Nanu equations kottu bidtini ivat nimmana. Neevu adardu ordered pairs kandidu graphical solution maadi ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಬಂದು ತೋರಿಸಬೇಕು tomorrow. So that's why I am replaying the whole thing. Yesterday also I have discussed the same thing. How to find the ordered pairs. ಇವತ್ತು ಮತ್ತೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಇರಬಾರದು ನಿಮಗೆ. I want the completion of the activity tomorrow itself. It is a simple activity. 3 set of equation ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದರದು graphical solution ಕಂಡಿಡಿದು graph draw ಮಾಡಿ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು ನಾಳೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ. Am I clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
The first set of equation I'm writing it down here is 5x minus 4y plus 8 equal to 0. Like I have told you, you have to transpose and get x in terms of y or y in terms of x. So now I think division by 5 will be easy. So I will write it like this. 5x equals, I transpose both the negative 4y and the positive 8 the other side. So it will become 4y minus 8. Is that clear? It is just to transpose negative 4y and positive 8 to the right hand side. So negative became positive, positive became negative. That's all. Then I want x alone, so it will be 4y minus 8 whole divided by 5. Alright, now I create the table for that here. I told you want at least 3 ordered pairs to find the solution. Minimum is 3, but if you can smartly get 4, it is always good. But not less than 3 ordered pairs. So what I should do, I have taken x in terms of y. So I should give values for y to find out the value of x. Alright, so we'll always think of starting from 0 because when I take 0, one term is getting eliminated. So 4 into 0 means it will be 0 minus 8 divided by 5. It will be negative 8 by 5, which is a fraction, which I thought I don't want now. So think about 1. 1 means 4 into 1. 4 minus 8. 4 minus 8 will be negative 4. Again, negative 4 divided by 5 is also a fraction. So let us wait. We'll see if we are getting a whole number anyway. If I take 2, say y is equal to 2. If y equals 2, then x will be 4 into 2 minus 8 divided by 5. So what will that be equal to? 4 into 2 is 8. 8 minus 8 divided by 5. Numerator is 0 and this fraction becomes 0. So I got the first ordered pair, which is in whole numbers. Try avoiding getting decimals as ordered pairs. Why? Why should I avoid getting decimals? Because plotting will be easy. That's all. Otherwise, it is not a rule that you should not get decimals at all. If you can handle decimals properly on the graph, I don't have a problem. You can take it. But for convenience, it is always better to get whole numbers in the ordered place. So for 2, we could get a whole number. So 3 means just first put it there and see if you're getting a whole number. If you can't do it mentally, write down and do. All this should be shown. When you do it in the record also, if you have seen the thing properly, graph ke kehra ke this working is there. That's why I took the pic of both of them and I sent you. Again, I will show it to you in the next class how the graph is pasted. So get ready with the graph, the ordered pairs, the working, everything in the record. This will be in pencil on the left hand side. So do everything and get ready. Finally, I'll show you how to complete the activity by pasting the graph sheets. Now we'll think of 3. It will come 12 minus 8, which will be 4 by 5, again a fraction. Think about 4. 4 fours are 16. 16 minus 8 will be again 8 by 5 fraction. Think of 5. 5 fours are 20. 20 minus 8, again 12 by 5. Oh my God, where are we going? So you should keep on substituting till you get. So 6 times 6 fours are 24. 24 minus 8. Again, I am getting a fraction. So what to do in this case? Somewhere you have to adjust and take the fractions also. So let us think about taking maybe a 5 if y equals 5. So your x will be equal to 4 into 5 minus 8 divided by 5. So 4 5s are 20. 20 minus 8 will be 12 divided by 5. What will be 12 divided by 5? 12 divided by 5. 5 2s are 10. You carry out 2.4.
2.4.
2.4 should be possible. Let us see if you are able to do it. I have only 10 minutes to go. So I'll just tell you how to do the graph. For the one more point, maybe we can think of a negative.
Negative 3.
Maybe we can think of negative 1. Negative 12. Negative 2. 8, 16 by 5. Negative. Maybe it is going too much. Negative. Okay, then we will think of 5. We thought then 2 in the 5. 8. 32. No. 7. 28. Yeah, I think 7 will give you a whole number. See, if y equals 7, x will be 4 into 7 minus 8 divided by 5. So that will be equal to 20
negative
minus 8 will be 20 by 5 and hence it will become 4. So when y is equal to 7, x is equal to 4. Clear? So this is how you should be able to get the first 3 ordered pairs at least. Alright, 3 I can stop. If you want to get the 4th ordered pair, you can go ahead. Like this, you will take it for the next equation, that is 7x plus 6y minus 9 equals 0. Idu nanu kelavu values pick ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. If you want to work out and see, please work out and see. Nobody is stopping you. If you are able to mentally calculate what is the numerator and then divide by things, it is fine. So I could skip and go because I am able to calculate. If you want to do it one by one, after 2, 3 try martini, 4 try martini, then 5, then 6, then 7. Ili no haage starting 0 in the shuru martini value of y, and I will calculate what is x accordingly. So you can do it if you want. You are not able to do it mentally. You can always write down, calculate, and do. Nobody is going to stop. Alright. Now this also I should write it x in terms of y or y in terms of x. Maybe I will again try x itself. So 7x will be negative 6y plus 9, or x will be negative 6y plus 9 whole divided by 7. I hope that is understood. So now you have to give values for y and find out the value of x. So go ahead doing it. So give values for y. It may be, if y is 0, I'll get 9 by 7. Difficult. So y is 1. Negative 6, positive 3, 3 by 7. 2, negative 12, positive 9. Again, it is a negative 3 by 7. 4, 24 minus 9.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
negative 2.
Again, no. Yes. Is there any place where I will get
Ma'am, negative 2.
y is equal to negative 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, y is equal to negative 2. What did you get? X is equal to
Ma'am,
negative 6
Positive
negative 2 plus
Positive.
9 divided by 7. So that will be positive 12 plus 9 divided by 7. That is 21 by 7, which will be 3. Good. So negative 2, I get a positive 3. Good. See, this is how you should be able to do. So think of the next one. 0 agilla, but 1, negative 1 agilla, 2 agilla. 1, 2, 3, yavu agilla. If there is a decimal, sometimes you may have to take. You know it is going to be intersecting lines. Correct? So I hope you got an idea as how you have to calculate and get the values for x and y. I don't want to continue with the entire video. Maybe I can share that video also with you so that you can see and learn. So now are you confident that given any set of equations, you will be able to find out the values of x and y and show the graphical solution? Are you confident about it now?
Yes.
Okay, so now what I will do is on the board, I will write down the 3 equations which you have to take up and find their graphical solution. All right, ಇದೇ ತರ ನೀವು ಅದು graphical solutions ಕಂಡಿಡಿದು you must come and tell me, show me the graphs tomorrow to show whether they are intersecting lines, coincident lines or parallel lines. All right, so on the board I will write down the equations, please take it, and the remaining we will discuss in the class tomorrow. All right, I wanted to show you a record also as how the solutions are drawn graphically. Can you see the record page? See, it is only pasted on one side, that is the left side. Below, the entire calculation is there. How to find out the values of x and y. Can you see it?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ಈ ತರನೇ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ, ಹೌ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೈ, ಅದು ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ನೋಟ್ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಅಂಡ್ ದೋಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಈ ತರ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆಲ್ರೈಟ್, ಮೋರ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ I will tell you when you come back to me tomorrow with the graphs. Don't paste the graphs till we are seeing it. Is that clear? So
Yes,
I'll,
ma'am.
yes, I'll just go back to the board quickly. Another 2-3 minutes, you should be able to take down the equations and get ready for tomorrow's practical class. Clear?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Now I'll just come back to the board. Just erase this and write down the 3 sets of equations. Take it down and first find out by using the coefficients what kind of lines you will get, and then go and graph it. Yeah. So first set of equations.
Yes, ma'am.
3x minus 2y. 4x minus y minus 8 equals 0. This is the first step. 4x minus y minus 8 equals 0. And 2x minus 3y plus x equals 0. This is the first step. Alright? The second step. 3x minus 2y equals 4 and 9x minus 6y equals 12. ಇದನ್ನ ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಜನರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ x y is a constant term on the left side and on the right hand side you have 0. But here the equations are not in the general form, so you have to transpose the 4 and the 12 to the other side. Okay, I will give a note for margin. And the third set, two x plus 4y minus 12 equals 0, and x plus 2y minus 4 equals 0. So these are the three sets of equations for which you should be able to graph the equations and also tell me what kind of lines you are getting. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then I think I will stop my recording here. And if you have anything to ask, you can quickly ask. Otherwise, I just read out the attendance. If I have missed somebody's name, you can tell me.